What's up YouTube? My name's Quickie, welcome back to the channel. Sorry I've had a bit of a rant in the last video with the van, but I really didn't need that. It is all now sorted though. Everything on that long list of stuff that was dead dodgy and you really shouldn't be driving it is now all sorted. So I just got to book it in, hopefully it'll pass the MOT and we're away. It is quite late, that's why it probably looks a bit dark and it's freezing, look. It is chilly. We did have a delivery today. I've got some tube. That, believe it or not, is going to be a headlamp mount. Oh no, just bear with me. Steve-O's down at the weekend, so I'm getting a jump on that. And we've been having various discussions about how we're going to mount it and how he wants to do it, because I want to keep things real nice and clean and simple. He was going on about, you know, the Enfields, the bobbers that Craig builds. Well, he quite likes that. Is it nasal? Nasal? I don't know. He likes the whole headlamp bit and the tubes that come down the fork legs and stuff. So it's all enclosed and blah, blah, blah. And he was talking about sticking it on this, and I told him it just looked stupid. However, we did come to a compromise. So what we're going to do is we're going to cover up the top part of the fork legs, and I'll show you why. Right, so if you look at the fork legs, they're actually not too bad from there down at all. A little bit of a clean up, nothing massive, and they'll be fine. These bits, on the other hand, I really don't like, for a couple of reasons. There's a line in it here, and there, which is obviously where the bottom clamp goes on. Then you've got one thickness there, and then it goes into a different thickness up here. And it just looks a bit stupid. But the really annoying thing is they are scratched to buggery round here. Basically, there was burrs on the inside of the bottom yoke. So where he's had his fork legs in and out and being a bit ham-fisted and stuff, there was burrs in there, and they've just scraped the bejesus out of these. So I really want to cover them up. We did look into getting these spun up on a lathe and dressed down to get all the anodising and, you know, scratches and everything else out of it, and then have them re-anodised. That's going to be about 150 quid. The other option we've got is a hell of a lot cheaper, and it's a bit of a throwback to old school, and it will just neaten everything up and tidy it all up. So that's what we're going to do. Essentially, if you look at like Craig's bikes and stuff, you get tubes that come down and pretty much cover it all up. I mean, obviously the fork leg's up the other way, but the tube covers the stanchion. It goes out, it sort of carries over this bit. So all we're going to do is fill this bit in with a tube. We'll put a plastic spacer top and bottom, and then this, the frame, the yokes, the tubes, the everything is all going to be black anyway, so it'll all just tie in and neaten it up. All you'll have is the gold bits sticking out the bottom. Right, so Steve-O is down at the weekend. So probably at the weekend we'll just be doing the brackets that hold the headlamp on. Where's the headlamp? Here we go. He's got this hoofing great big thing off that GS that he bought. That horrible thing. It is a little bit tatty, but it will all clean up and everything else. I think he's on about having the rim either a brushed finished or re-chromed or something, in the back of it black. We have got holes in the back of it, so all these, you know, wires and everything else is going to squirrel in the back here, hopefully. And we'll also get the M bullet in there as well. So going from here back to the M unit, there's just going to be a single white wire, which would be sweet. And we can tuck that away, no worries. So all those wires are going to go in there, and it's pretty much going to sit about like that-ish, I would say. Something like that. Basically, I want to try and get it smack in the middle of this frame, like that, and have it tucked quite close in as well, because I think it will just be nicer that way. Does have a bracket on the back here. We're probably not going to need that. And this hole at the top, we're probably gonna, once he decides on a speedo, I'll cut a tube and we'll set it in. I mean, there is some room there, but it's gonna have to kind of go up the top here, I think. Sort of at an angle back to your eye line. So, but we'll figure that out. So it'll probably open it up sort of like EA. That'll be the bottom part of the thing. I don't even know how big a speedo he's going to go for, but I think less is more in this case. So that's what we're going to do. So between now and the weekend, I want to get these tubes done and the spaces at each end, and get them on, just so we can see what's what really, and then we can decide how far out he wants this, or up or down or whatever, and we'll just make the brackets down the side to suit, weld them on, job's a good one. That's another job done. I reckon that'll look all right actually. About there. That'll do, won't it? That'll do a treat. Right, let's get this measured up. Right, well, my lathe skills is definitely coming on. Turn up 3 of the collars that I need. This is just that plastic stuff. I can't remember what it's called now. Plastic stuff. I don't know. So that's basically what I'm using. To be fair, it has took me, I don't know, about an hour to do these. Hour and 20 minutes, I would say, I guess. It's a doddle getting stuff down on size because you just use a set of calipers and stuff and you can flip between metric and imperial, so there's your conversion. And if you set them to the size of the thing that you want, zero it there, then it sort of tells you how much you've got left to take off, and then, you know, you just half it because obviously you're taking it off both sides and away you go. It's not too bad. This is plastic. It is a little bit flexible, and I was using guesstimeters, but this was coming down to like 1/1000th of an inch. So we shall see. Oh look, it's snug, isn't it? But it does go on. It is very snug. Oh, see? Believe in something and it will happen. Right, you're stuck. No, you're not. I need to, is there any burrs or anything there? Oh, there's probably a couple of, God, that really is snug as well. Actually, I'll take the burrs off. I haven't deburred this properly. Right, ease on. Works a lot better when you take the burrs off it. Come on, fit on top. Yes. That is so snug. Did I deburr you? No. Right, these are really snug. I know it's plastic, yeah, and I was using calipers, which aren't the most accurate thing on the planet, but I was setting up my measurements and everything else and turning it down just using the dials, because obviously I haven't got a DRO or anything else on it, and I managed to get it to within 1/1000th of an inch of my measurements, which ain't bad. So I'm quite pleased with that. I am getting more accurate. Using a 4-jaw chuck as well, I spent literally a whole day just practicing setting stuff up in a 4-jaw chuck and getting it to spin centrally. It takes time, doesn't it? But I'm doing it, and I'm doing it properly, I think. So, you know, we will get good, and we'll turn out some nice stuff. Collars and that is a doddle. They've just got to be the right size. It's a lot more interesting stuff you can make on a lathe. Right, the idea with this, I've got the other collar to do, which I'm going to have to get done tomorrow because I need to chip off to me work. The light is going to sit like this, and coming off here is going to be 2 brackets that are welded on that basically marry up with these mounting points. But then I want to put some sort of a cover over the bracket so you can't see the fixing that's holding it in place. I want it just to look like a, you know, well, a cover. I don't know how else to say it. Got the idea of doing that from Craig when he puts those, when he's building his bobbers and he puts his tank on, the little mounting bracket at the front is a little bit ugly and he don't like it. So he makes these little covers to go over it. So I'm gonna probably do something like that, I think. Because that way it'll all just be smooth, you won't see any fixings, and it'll function, and it'll look good, and all that other stuff. All right, let's get this done. Looks all right with a set of pipes on, doesn't it?
It looks well smart. They come up really nice, haven't they?
Yeah, really nice. Well pleased with that.
Makes a difference. Just you can visualise it coming together now.
Looking like a bike again, isn't it?
Yeah.
As you probably guessed, Saturday, it's a wide ankle day.
Hello.
And he's back. Finished off doing the collars and tubes and everything else, and now we just need to get this stuck on there.
And I'm well happy with how they turned out. I think that was definitely the right decision.
So originally, we was going to have the headlamp up here.
It was going to be a bit higher, wasn't it? But yeah.
But
now we're here.
It just looks a bit goofy. So what I want to do is stick it in the middle so it's framed by the top and bottom yoke and the side tubes. And we just got to figure out some way of mounting it. Simple is going to be the best option. And I quite like the idea of following that, the angle and the width of that frame tube. So that will go like that. It's going to basically come down at the same angle, so it's going to start at the top pretty much.
Yeah.
Come down, we give it some depth, so it don't just look like a bit stuck on, and I reckon we're in. I reckon that's sorted.
Because ultimately, we're going to try and keep all of the wiring and everything from the switchgear, all of the joiners, and what we're going to do is we're actually going to mount the speedo on top of it into the headlamps around.
We'll cover that later. That'll be fine. Let's just get it stuck on to start off with, eh?
Let's get it stuck on then.
Right, cardboard cutouts. Right then, we're getting there. We are getting there. So, I will have to do the zoomy thing just so you can see all this, but we've marked up on the tubes where we want these brackets to go. We've made some little brackets. This is just the starter for 10, and they're basically going to come on here like that, one either side. Real simple, just, you know, marked it out as a template, drilled a hole, got both of them the same. Essentially we just bolted it together and then dressed it up to make them the same, so that's all good. As far as marking this out, a little bit interesting. Was a bit of a faff. What we did is shoved a piece of plate across here, put a square down the side and move the plate up to that square, so we know that this edge of the plate is in line with the outside of the tube. We know the diameter of the tube, so we can mark off a halfway point and then just mark a line down the front of it, so we know that is absolutely the front of the tube. Did that on both sides, and we also marked the collars and the yokes, just so if anything moved we can put it back to where it needs to be. And then with our little templates, it's just a case of holding the headlamp up and deciding quite how high it needs to go. So we put those ones in. So that's all good. So we know that's where it's going to go, and it's on the front, and it's all even, and blah, 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 blah. Awesome. Then we took the headlamp apart. That's not so good. Right, so this is the headlamp all in pieces. As you can see, it's in better days. The inside of the bowl is knackered. All this needs to be stripped off anyway because it's all chromed. That bracket needs to go, probably.
Yeah.
Are we going to need it?
I don't think so.
Or we're going to have cabling and stuff going in. It might be handy. We might mock it up and see if it comes in useful or not.
Yeah.
Could do. But anyway, we need to get all the chrome off it because this is going to be powder coated or painted.
It's going to be powder coated, but the rims are going to be re-chromed.
But inside it's nasty as. So we're going to pull out the citric acid trick again because that will get the chrome and the rust off, and we can see quite how good or bad this is. If it's junk, we'll have to get something else, but I reckon this is totally workable with. The headlamp, it's all sealed, but if this is going in citric acid, we really don't want to be taking off the shiny bit that's inside there, the reflector. So we're hoping it is sealed enough that if we dunk it in up to about there in citric acid, we can get all this lot cleaned up and we're not going to damage the inside of it, because if it does get in there, that's buggered, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that will be just a case of getting a new one. And then the rim and the little insets around and stuff that holds this in place, that all needs to go through anyway.
There's rust, but I say, I mean, they're not.
It should be all right.
It's still solid enough that you could use it.
It
just looks a bit nasty.
I think it's more just surface junk. I think if we can get it cleaned off with the citric acid, we're in.
Yeah.
Right, okay, let's get these brackets welded onto the tubes. So at least we've got a mounting point, and then we'll worry about making it all 3D later on. Oh, in other news, I got an MOT certificate. The van passed. So 2 very late nights and a lot of cursing later on was well worth it. Right, so what we're doing, this is 60mm tube, OD. This little block here is 30mm. So all I've done is I've clamped it and the bracket that I want to weld to it on the flat. So that way I know it is halfway up it. Well actually, we do want half material depth as well, don't we?
No, we were going to the outside of the line, and then we're going to box in around that.
No, I mean half that material depth of the bracket. Because at the minute, if that was smack in the middle, like that, that would run absolutely parallel, but we need 2mm gap, don't we? I need something 2mm to shove in there as well. Right, 2mm. Well, actually, what's this? That looks like 2mm to me. 2mm. Right, we're basically in. Headlamp is on, as you can see. So these are all welded. It's not going to stay like this. I was having a chat with Steve-O about the idea of putting some covers on here, like Craig does on his bobbers where he fits the tank. So I'll probably do a captive nut on this side, and we'll bolt through from the inside of the headlamp bulb. Once it's all fitted, and there'll be another captive up here with a thread in it. So when the cover goes on, it'll be countersunk on this side, and we'll just have like a countersunk Allen screw that goes flush with the inside of this. So you won't see any fixings at all. And then basically the yokes obviously the collars, the tube, the collar, the bracket, the headlamp, whatever, it's all going to be black. So it's all going to be, it's going to look really, really good.
Apart from the chrome ring on the front.
Apart from the chrome ring on the front. The headlamp is nasty as, and we are going to get it dunked in citric acid.
Yes.
But it's got quite a good look to it, I think.
I'm well pleased, mate.
It's like doing...
Just having the headlight on just makes so much difference.
Does, doesn't it? And I like that that follows this and it's the same width. We was talking about making it narrow at the front, but because of the tubular frame and stuff, I don't think that would be the right thing to do.
No, I think we leave it the same width all the way down.
I might even try and make that rounded. I don't know.
Rounded?
Yeah, I'm not convinced on that one.
No, I think just have it coming back.
It does look good though, doesn't it?
It does.
Starting to look very bike-like.
We actually achieved a thing!
We did a thing today.
Yay!
Instead of just goofing about. Right, let's pull it off. I'll get the citric acid and we can get it bubbling.
Okay.
All right? Right, so we've done there's another video on us doing this citric acid trick, but essentially it's just water, citric acid. We've got an aquarium heater in there, so that's at 26 degrees, and we've got a little aquarium pump as well just to keep everything moving. How long did it take to do the was it 2 days? It was 2 days, wasn't it?
2 days.
So we shoved the lid on so it all gets nice and toasty, and I will come back and I'll probably check it tomorrow, just see how we're doing. I don't know how long it takes to take the chrome off though, because the last time all we did was take rust out, surface rust.
I reckon probably if you're coming on Monday morning, we'll probably be a good way there.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see, won't we?
Circulating the water and pushing the water. There's not that much water in there really, is there? Unlike last time.
No, it'll be all right. That'll be all right, be all right. Well, that's it then. Headlamp's basically sorted. Still need to do those caps. I do like the idea of those caps and covering up all the fasteners.
Yeah, I think that'd be a bloody good idea.
So you can't see anything then.
No.
And just with like a couple of little screws hidden up the inside of it. Just looking at the bike, you won't see them, will you?
No, because they'll be on the inside.
Yeah. So that's sweet. Be interested to see how that citric acid deals with the chrome as well. I've heard tell it takes chrome off. I've never tried it, but I mean it worked to treat with the rust before, so and it kind of took everything right
It
down
might
to bare
take modern
metal.
chrome off. Whether it will take that ancient chrome off is another matter. So we'll see.
I could come in and there won't be a headlamps around. It's all disintegrated.
Yeah. And we find that all that steel in the headlamp is now broken, and we've got no reflection. So
we shall see. We shall see. Anyways, probably the next thing I'll do. Now the headlamp and everything else is up there, I'll probably have a crack at doing the little caps for it. And then I want to get the footrest hangers done, because then I've got something to aim the exhaust at.
yeah.
So that's probably the order that we'll be doing stuff in. And over the Christmas break and that, I ain't got a clue what I'll do. I might even do my Vapor Blaster, because we're going to need that soon.
Well, I'm here this week, not next weekend.
No.
Then it's Christmas.
Then it's Christmas, so I ain't going to see you for a bit, are we?
Well,
I probably will do the Vapor Blaster, I don't know. I'll figure it out.
Hopefully, but it depends on what time we both get off, doesn't it? So.
Well, I know when I'm off.
I know when I'm off.
22nd to the 4th. But I'm probably going to be busy because it's Christmas.
And we did decide that we weren't going to be working on the bike New Year's Day.
I won't be fit to work on the bike New Year's Day. Anyway, that's where we're going to leave it this week. Do hope you're all staying well and safe.
Yeah.
And we'll see you again next time.
See you soon.
Laters.